Hey everybody, Srini here from Unmistakable Creative, and today I want to talk about how to manage projects inside of Mem. So the key to managing any project is to have some sort of structure for that project, and my favorite and preferred structure is something called the action method that comes from Scott Belsky's book, Making Ideas Happen. And the idea behind the action method is that a project basically has three components. You're going to have tasks related to the project, or what Scott Belsky calls action steps. You're going to have references, and then you're going to have back burner items. Those are things that you are not going to take action on right now, but might be useful at some point in the future. So the first thing we want to do is you want to have a mem for the project itself. And I've actually already done that. Let me go ahead and pull that up from my timeline. So you can see here that I've created a mem specifically for how to write your first book. Now, because it's a project, we want to make sure we tag it as a project, so that way whenever we go to our timeline, we want to look at our projects, we can go there. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you could do this. You could actually put all of the information related to the project on this one page, but I think that having tasks and everything else on this one page makes it unnecessarily cluttered. So what I recommend you do is on this first page, you're just going to basically have an overview of the project, talk about what it includes. In this case, I just used one sentence and I said, okay, this is basically an online course about how to write, publish, and promote your first book. It'll include video modules, writing exercises, and a few other things. After you create the overview page, what you'll want to do is then create a tasks page for the project. So you can see here that I have my tasks. I just put in a few different tasks here as placeholders. So you have tasks for this project called How to Write Your First Book. You can see here also, you see the related items there, and you can see there's references also, which I've created. Now on your references page, you can put different notes here. You also could say, for example, let's say that there are book notes that you want to use. Then you could actually add those book notes. So for example, I could say, okay, the bullet journal method, I could say the organized mind. These are just a few of the books that I have inside of here. So those are various references related to the project. Now, if we go to the first overview page here, you'll see that now you have all of your references, you have all of your tasks. Now let's create one final page, which is our back burner items for our course on how to write a book. So we'll just call this back burner items. So we've created here a back burner items page, and by just using the plus sign, we can link it directly to the project, How to Write Your First Book. Now, if we go back to the How to Write Your First Book project, you'll see here that we have the references, we have the back burner items, and we have all the tasks related to the project. And then if we go to our tasks, you can see here that all the tasks related to the project are right there. So I prefer to actually have individual mems for the tasks related to a project, a mem specifically for the references related to the project, and then of course individual mems for each of the various references. So for example, each book note has a mem. You might have other notes that you pick up from articles that you read online that you want to create a mem for. So that way you can link everything together. And then finally on this page, if we really wanted to, what we could do is we could say, here are all my tasks related to this. Here are all my references related to this, and here are all my back burner items related to this. So if you link all of it here like this, then you'll see that it actually disappears from your related items, but you don't actually have to do this. But it is a nice way to just have a comprehensive overview of the project that you're working on. So that's the basic overview of how to manage projects in Mem. Now, if we go back to our projects page here and we go into our list view, you'll see that anything that I have that is tagged a project will show up. And then you can see here that How to Write Your First Book is a project. You see here that I have my daily mem that also tags with projects. That's the basic overview of how to manage projects in Mem.